You said hurt him, and hurt him we did.
By killing women and children? That's me being nice. Now, right?
You used me.
Sit. Who killed my daughter?
I truly don't know yet. Almighty God, I don't know! Wait!
The film opens with Quan, a humble restaurant owner in London, picking up his teenage daughter, Fan, to get a dress for the school dance. She is the only family he has left after the deaths of his 2 daughters and wife. Fan enters the shop, and while Quan waits outside, a bomb goes off, injuring anyone in the vicinity including Quan. A reporter named Ian receives a call using the secret IRA code, claiming responsibility for the events. The attack claimed the lives of 12 innocents, including Quan's daughter. Amidst the rubble, a shocked Quan weeps as he hugs the lifeless body of his daughter. The action cuts in a hotel, where young Irish terrorists are overjoyed upon hearing of the high death toll and discuss how the British deserve to have their financial institutions targeted for occupying Northern Ireland, and preventing the country's unification. One of their members suggests that they should relocate, but another one declines, fearing that doing so could compromise their already concealed identities. At a hotel in Belfast, Liam Hennessy, an ex-IRA leader now turned peaceful with the British government, snuggles with his young mistress, Maggie, then learns of the bombings. In mourning over his daughter's death, Quan's only mission now is to get the names of those who are accountable. Liam calls Kate Davis, head of Irish relations, telling her he doesn't know who is responsible. However, if she expects his assistance in identifying the culprit, she must authorize royal pardons for IRA political prisoners. Liam meets with Sinn Féin and the ex-leaders of the IRA, and they all deny any knowledge of the incident. Yet the Brits discovered the bomb was made of Semtex taken from the IRA's defunct weaponry storage. Liam orders the full disclosure of all their weaponry stocks, suspecting that one of them is behind this bombing, with the aim of identifying the person who wants to sever the 20-year peace they've enjoyed with Britain. Quan visits the counterterrorism agency daily for weeks, demanding to speak with Commander Bromley regarding the progress of the investigation. Although Bromley expresses sympathy, he advises Quan to remain calm and allow the police to carry out their duties. Meanwhile, Quan watches an interview with Deputy Minister Liam Hennessy on television, who years ago knew everyone involved with IRA violent acts. Quan repeatedly calls Liam's office until he finally responds. Then Quan politely asks him to reveal the names of the people who killed his daughter. Liam gives him some comforting words, stating he has no idea who it was and brushes him off, though Quan doesn't believe him. Quan's business partner Lynn tries to console him, but instead, he hands her the deed to the restaurant, gets the supplies he needs, makes himself untraceable, and drives his van to Belfast to confront Liam Hennessy again. When he arrives at the Deputy First Minister's office, the security guards try to throw him out since he had a pocket knife. But Liam comes out, telling them to stop roughhousing this poor man. Quan is insistent that Liam can find the names of the bombers. However, Liam insists he cannot help him, to which Quan simply responds by saying he will change his mind and leave. Quan then takes his grocery bag, constructs a bomb in the men's room, lights the fuse, and sets it off as soon as he departs. The bomb emits a significant amount of smoke and fire, merely serving as a warning. Liam and his security officer, Kavanagh, decide not to involve the police. When Quan calls, demanding the names again, Liam yells at him, so Quan hangs up. Liam's security team locates Quan, and 4 bodyguards go after him at the homestay. However, Quan is quite powerful, and thanks to his martial arts skills, he sneakily puts the drop on anyone and takes a fall gracefully. Quan escapes after badly hurting the security team. Liam calls his nephew Sean, a decorated ranger in the Royal Irish Regiment, and asks him to fly to London to meet with Bromley. They want to convince Bromley that they are clueless about who bombed the bank, and they want to help track down the culprits so they don't get blamed. Quan follows Liam and observes him in a romantic mood with his girlfriend Maggie. He quickly snaps a picture of them and promptly emails it to him. Quan then tries to blackmail him into revealing the names. Sean meets with Bromley in London and convinces him that renegade IRA members are behind the attack. He shares with Bromley the plan to catch the mole. Hennessy will give each member of the Sinn Féin a different code word, and when the next bombing occurs, they'll know which ex-IRA member is behind it. Bromley agrees only if they let the British government take them down. Liam decides to stay at his farmhouse with his wife, where he thinks it's safer. However, Quan is hot on their trail, trading his van for a jeep and surrounding the perimeter of Liam's farmhouse with camouflage traps and trip lines. He secretly enters the barn, plants a bomb, then overtakes the armed security with some kung fu moves, hog-tying them in the barn. A giant blast occurs, leaving the storehouse blown up. Kavanagh and Liam know they've underestimated the old man. Liam rashes in the house, and Mary condemns his cowardly ways. Liam's mistress Maggie goes to meet Ian, the reporter at a bar. Ian understands that this evening will conclude with a happy ending, as she employs some assertive flirtation tactics with him. Back at the farm, Liam orders Mary back to London, where she would be safe. An explosion is heard in the distance, blowing up the vehicle badly and injuring the driver. Kavanaugh agrees to search the woods, so he takes 3 remaining uninjured guards to track him down. However, Quan lures them to his hidden traps, rendering them injured and useless. Before Quan can torture his captors for names, Kavanaugh shoots him in the shoulder and falls to the ground but escapes. Kavanaugh returns to Liam, breaking the bad news and suggesting they bring in a tracker. The best one available is his nephew, Sean, who is still in London and pays a visit to the hotel where his Aunt Mary is staying. Sean and Mary bond deeply, and just as they are on the verge of consummation, Liam calls to discuss business matters. Sean has lost the mood, and Mary makes it even worse, calling her husband a washed-up old man whose career is over, and the IRA council needs a very young leader like him. Sean tells her about the trick they will do with the different code words should work. Mary harbors a deep-seated animosity towards her husband due to his failure to exact revenge on the British soldiers responsible for her brother's death, having them arrested instead. A delirious Quan sits in his shelter, taking care of his wound. He flashes back to his escape from China with his 2 daughters and wife. They were on an old boat when Thai pirates attacked them. The pirates abducted his young daughters, subjected them to abuse, and ultimately killed them. Liam goes through Quan's top-secret file, revealing that after his capture in Saigon, he sided with the Americans during the Vietnam War. McGrath, a member of the IRA, enters Liam's office, and we learn it was Liam who arranged for the bank bombing. However, the intention was that no one was supposed to get hurt. McGrath claims that the IRA members he hired became overzealous, and now he is unable to control them. He claims to not know their names or how to contact them. He even plausibly denied keeping peace with the British. Liam wanted the political prisoners, his friends and family, freed and thought a non-casualty bank bombing would aid in that endeavor. However, it appears that the bombers have now turned renegade. Late at night, Quan enters Liam's office, points his own gun at him, and threatens to set off a bomb if anyone enters. He asks for the names once more, but Liam is genuinely unaware of them. Quan tells Liam he has 24 hours to discover who killed Fan. Now, Liam must await the next bombing, as the use of the new code word will enable him to locate the mole. Soon after Maggie exits the bus, it explodes on a bridge, killing 16 passengers. Authentic IRA calls and claims responsibility, but they don't use a code word because someone tipped them off. Only he and Sean knew about the plan. Kate calls, telling him time has run out. If he fails to identify the perpetrators of these acts of terrorism, British soldiers will invade Belfast. Liam inquires with the assigned spy about Mary's well-being, and he shares his observation of Sean spending 2 hours in her room. As soon as Sean left, Mary called McGrath from the lobby phone. The IRA plans to bomb the plane carrying members of the Irish-British Peace Accord as its next action. The IRA has rigged the computer of a mule who is scheduled to interview the politicians on the plane upon its arrival. Bromley's team has identified the bomb detonator at the bank scene. His name is Patrick O'Reilly, and he was filmed meeting at a pub with 3 others talking to McGrath. He calls Liam with the news and states that McGrath is pulling up to his driveway at that moment. Bromley and Kate are aware that Liam has been lying, and they plan to send British police to his home to arrest both McGrath and him if he doesn't reveal all the names of the IRA. Liam invites McGrath into his home and shoots him in the knees, telling him if he doesn't reveal the rest of the names, he's going to turn him in. McGrath gives him the names, and one of them is Maggie. She's been seducing Liam as insurance in case he decides to turn McGrath in. Liam is determined to uncover the identity of the plot's mastermind, so he shoots him once more. McGrath then reveals that Mary, his wife, has harbored hatred toward him since her brother's death. Liam coldly kills McGrath to tie up loose ends. Maggie had successfully seduced Ian and planted a bomb on his computer, knowing that he would be conducting interviews with the politicians on the plane. Sean is tracking Quan, so Liam gives him the names of those who killed his daughter. Sean finds Quan, and they fight each other gallantly. However, the elderly man employs more skillful maneuvers and emerges victorious, tying Sean up. Sean provides Quan with all the names, revealing that O'Reilly was the one responsible for setting off the bank bomb that killed his daughter. Quan sets Sean free and reports to Liam, who confronts him about his affair with Aunt Mary. Liam is aware that he was the one who informed her about the change in Codeword's plan. She deceived him and exploited him for her own gain. Liam instructs his nephew to bury McGrath, but he has to complete the last task before returning to New York and never talk with him again. Bromley and his soldiers are surveilling the bomber's room, ready for a takedown. However, Quan disguises himself as a repairman and convinces the landlady of a gas leak, compelling them to allow him inside. The bombers are suspicious, so they make Quan empty his bag. He locks eyes with O'Reilly just before they see his hidden gun. Quan starts shooting and eliminates 2 of them. Quan then kills the gravely injured O'Reilly slowly with his bare hands. Finally, the police break in, but by then, Quan has quietly slipped out, leaving only injured Maggie on the floor. She refuses to reveal their leader or disclose future bomb plans, so they torture her, and she gives up the plan about the bombing of the plane and laughingly informs them that it's too late. They return the favor by putting a bullet in her head. The police request a delay in the plane's departure, and upon locating Ian, they seize the laptop from him. Before it blows, the policeman throws the laptop into the enclosure, preventing any injuries. Kate calls, expressing her gratitude to Liam but asserting that she is fully aware of his ties to Maggie and McGrath and that he serves as her puppet for the British government going forward. Sean accomplishes the last mission for his uncle, neutralizing the last tie to his uncle by brutally murdering Mary. Quan finds Liam and shows him the picture of him kissing the woman responsible for all the bombings and deaths of his daughter. He makes Liam send the picture implicating him as a co-conspirator to all the news agencies. Quan returns to his restaurant, having gotten justice for his daughter. He begins setting up for dinner. Despite tracking him, Bromley's men receive instructions to leave him alone. Lynn is thrilled to see Quan back at the restaurant. She kisses him passionately before the screen goes black. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.